Okay, great news everyone. I have finally found an answer to why so many actors are wearing these strange rings in movies. It's normally a giant gold ring or in some cases silver on their wedding fingers with a big ruby or sapphire. And I just couldn't understand it. What's going on? It was really odd behaviour. Well, shortly after I did that video last week about why all these actors were wearing this ring in the movies, and it was pretty much one after the other that I saw, it was consecutively this ring kept appearing. It was really odd. Anyway, shortly after I did that, my sister contacted me from Switzerland because she watched it as well. I sent her the link on WhatsApp, and she sent me this. She said she thinks it's a class ring. Okay, I was asking people if anyone knew what it was, then please let me know. And looks like my sister found out what was going on here. The reason for this really strange behaviour. In the United States, class rings are given to graduates, those who are studying to graduate. They wear these rings, okay, and it serves as a little reminder, okay, to graduate, an incentive perhaps, and they continue to wear them even after graduation. Okay, now it is the custom also for them to be worn on wedding fingers. As strange as that sounds, yeah, this is a custom in America. It's also used in the United States Military Academy, okay, which explains why we saw a ring just like this one, okay, in that movie We Were Soldiers with Mel Gibson, and he's wearing it throughout the movie as well. So there we go, I finally found an answer. It was driving me nuts, and I thought it was a cult. I thought perhaps there's witchcraft involved there. That may still be the case, and the reason why so many actors wear them in movies. But I had to do this video to let you all know that I found an answer, okay? There is a reason for why they wear these rings in America. Here we go, look, it says here that for as long as the wearer is in school, the insignia should face the wearer to remind him or her of the goal of graduation. And they continue to wear them as a badge of honour, or like a diploma. So it turns out it might not be anything sinister at all, although I still find it very strange that it keeps on appearing in Hollywood, in so many movies, and all these actors are wearing them like they've been told to. I still suspect that it is Masonic, okay, and it's like a little sign that they're in the club, okay. This is what they like to do, and I don't think it's any coincidence that they keep appearing in sci-fi movies, space movies especially. And I think I've even seen Buzz Aldrin wearing one. Okay, I went over Buzz in the previous video, how he is a Freemason, and he was one of the first men on the moon. I'm pretty sure I've seen him wearing a ring very similar to this. I'll dig up a picture. Yeah, I might find a picture of him. Here we go. I put it in and straight away this popped up. I put in Buzz Aldrin, Freemason, and it came up with this, to the moon and back with Buzz Aldrin. And the very first picture we see of Buzz, he's wearing the ring, look. Yeah, you can't see it very well here, but yeah, it's a Masonic ring, okay. So as you can see, it's not just used by the US Military Academy and students who are looking to graduate or who have just graduated. They're also used a lot by Freemasons. Look, here's another man. Is that Buzz? That may be Buzz as well there, still wearing the ring, look. So there is that possibility as well with a lot of these actors in the movies. Okay. Interesting. And you know what? I think I'm going to investigate this further. I'm going to do some more research into Buzz Aldrin being a Freemason and see what I can find there. I'm sure there's going to be some rather interesting things. Yeah, I'll get back to you on that. Well, yeah, I did find something very interesting. This, Buzz Aldrin's communion on the moon, which was hushed up. Yes, it turns out that the first things to be eaten and drank on the moon were done in communion, which had me scratching my head a bit. But I looked at this and something very interesting popped up. Okay, a lot of the founding fathers, I won't say all, were deists, okay, and that does not necessarily make them believers of the God of the Bible, but of a deity. Okay, that's what a deist is. And oftentimes it isn't the God of the Bible. And it says right here, although Buzz did take communion on the moon, he is reportedly a deist. Now that makes an awful lot of sense because the founding fathers were also. And he watched respectfully without making any comment as... Armstrong. Hang on, Armstrong. Not Buzz. Okay, yeah, here we go. Okay, so Buzz... Yeah. So, Buzz took communion on the moon, which is interesting. I'm not sure why this Freemason is taking communion on the moon. Freemasonry is far from Christian. Buzz took communion on the moon, and Neil Armstrong, who is reportedly a deist, is said to have watched respectfully but without making any comment. Now, this makes a lot of sense. Neil Armstrong being a deist, okay, because most, if not all, of the founding fathers were deists, alright, and that does not necessarily make them believers of the God of the Bible. In fact, they all rejected Christianity during a time known as the Enlightenment era. and they embrace this new deism belief, okay, and that explains why Neil Armstrong was also a deist, okay. Yeah, it all ties in. So there's an interesting fact right there, isn't there? Neil Armstrong was a deist, just as all those founding fathers were. Okay. Oh, and the First and Second Amendments, by the way, are in direct violation of the First and Second Commandments. Yet you're all oblivious. I don't understand what's wrong with you. Haven't you even thought it through? Hello? Go through it. What is the First Amendment? Compare it with the First and Second Commandments. Okay. And then the Second Amendment. What's the Second Commandment of Jesus Christ in the New Testament? Okay, to love thy neighbour. How is having a right to bear arms that can be used to kill thy neighbour loving thy neighbour? Tell me that. These amendments are a disgrace. They're in direct violation of the First and Second Commandments of Jesus Christ, and you're all just oblivious. I think it's ridiculous. You've completely lost the plot. And you think yours is the greatest nation in the world, yeah, founded on liberty for all, blah blah blah. What a joke. Anyway, I'm repeating myself and ranting. I've been through all of this before, okay? Please check out my other videos on the founding of America, and how it's just so unchristian, okay? You like to think that your country was founded on Christian beliefs, but it's totally not the case, okay? Go through those First and Second Amendments. It couldn't be more unchristian if it tried. So why don't you go ahead and dislike this video, unsubscribe because you can't handle the truth about your God-forsaken country. But there won't be any more comments, you've probably noticed, and trust me when I tell you I did you a favour there. You think I'm going to suck up to my predominantly American audience to gain more subscribers? To gain a tiny bit of ad revenue, or try and sell my book? Like that's ever going to happen. I'm not Hillsong, okay? I don't cater for the mob, and I don't need your money, although I highly recommend tithing to this ministry for the abundance of grace you will receive. It's biblical. I've tried to tell you so many times, but you still won't believe. Your lack of faith is so sad that you won't even test God with this sound biblical principle that will turn your life around, as he tells you in Malachi 3:10 and throughout the Bible. Abraham and Jacob tithed, and many brought offerings before the Lord. King David gave a huge portion of his treasury, $21 billion by today's currency, and King Solomon sacrificed 1,000 bulls. I just went from tithing 20 to 30% of my gross income, and you won't even test God with a tenth. You won't even support this house with bare minimum. What are you doing on this channel? You're not here for the right reasons, and that seriously needs to change. And this sheer hatred of the government needs to change also. 2 Peter warns about speaking evil of dignitaries and brute beasts who count it pleasure to riot in the daytime. Jesus had nothing bad to say about Caesar either, and was even given the opportunity for release. But what a surprise, it was the enraged mob, the brute beasts, who sentenced him. No change there then. Do you realise this government actually gives me money? It doesn't even seem fair a lot of the time. They help me to save. It's actually called Help to Save. I get income support. They help my employer pay my wages during this furlough scheme, and also paid them a huge small business grant of £10,000. They just paid £500 into my account last night as extra income support because of this situation we're in right now. I couldn't believe it. The UK government is supporting me, which I then tithe to this ministry. It's essentially funding this ministry. But none of you are. My own followers aren't. How much do you give? That's the big question. Come on, you think you're better than your leaders? What are you doing to help the people in your country? Because your leaders are running it. And when they can afford to help people this much, I'd say they're doing a pretty good job. We've never had it better in this country, although the same might not be said about yours.